Whip the Vote campaign is aimed at 24 Senate Democrats who have not yet vowed to oppose Kavanaugh. The hearings for his confirmation begin 1 week from today. 3 of those Democratic senators are the usual suspects: Joe Donnelly, Heidi Heitkamp, and Joe Manchin. They're from red states and face re-election in November. The 3 voted for Trump's first high court nominee, Neil Gorsuch, and they are the most likely to vote for Kavanaugh. At one event yesterday, speakers went after Republicans Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, claiming that their decision on Kavanaugh will determine the future of abortion rights in America. Watch.
You both hold the fate of approximately 93 million women of childbearing age in your hands. With this vote on Brett Kavanaugh, you will be defining the future of these women, these 93 million women, with one vote.
Stop it! Stop it now! And make sure we have a Democratic House to have a break on this president after the 2018 elections.
Adrienne, really, the lives of 93 million childbearing age women are dependent on the Kavanaugh nomination?
Well, look, here's what we've got to remember. Donald Trump, during the campaign, made it clear that any Supreme Court nominee that he had the opportunity to nominate if he were president, he would run a litmus test on whether or not they would overturn Roe v. Wade. And he wanted nominees who would vow to overturn Roe v. Wade. So that is what is at stake here. There is a lot at stake. And that's why you're seeing all of these progressive organizations, from Demand Justice to NARAL to, I mean, you name them. They're all aligned. The resistance is aligned here to put pressure on Senate Democrats to oppose this nomination. So it's a smart tactic. It shows that Democrats are energized and enthusiastic, but at the same time, there is a lot at stake. So to try to downplay this and suggest that Kavanaugh would not do this is false. Because again,
I find it very interesting that Democrats still are claiming to speak for 93 million women as if they all speak the same or think the same. But Christian, is this just another delay tactic by Democrats that is futile, considering that there are some Democrats who probably vote for Kavanaugh? He essentially has a nomination in the bag.
Well, I love everything about this story and this effort. As a Trump Republican, I think these should do exactly what they're advising here, which is to send these senators who are all facing tough re-elections in states that overwhelmingly voted for Trump on a kamikaze mission. Kavanaugh is going to be confirmed. The big Democrat complaint against him is that he isn't vetted. He was a federal judge for 12 years. I think we know what he thinks. Before that, he was in the White House. He was vetted for that position, too. And I think it just shows how politicized and how absurd this has come. If you look back, Elena Kagan confirmed, but with 63 votes, quite a few Republicans voting in favor of her. Go back to Ruth Bader Ginsburg, 97 yes votes in the Senate. And now expecting that all Democrats would vote against him. Incidentally, in Kavanaugh's rounds with senators, he has told people that Roe versus Wade is settled law. And the focus of social conservatism has changed. Frankly, it's political correctness and other rights, not so much that.
And the problem with the argument that Adrienne is making is when you drill in these red states like Manchin, Donnelly, and Heitkamp, the majority of voters in those states want Kavanaugh confirmed. And I guarantee you that Joe Manchin cares more about what Trump supporters in his state that went for President Trump by 42 points, what they care about, versus a bunch of progressive hacks. So the point is, these arguments that they're making, it has taken a toll on Kavanaugh, nationally speaking, in his numbers. But what is important is what these red state Democrats care about and what they're hearing. And they're hearing more. They care more, again, about what Trump supporters and people in their state that voted for him care about than a bunch of, crazy progressives.
Well, first of all, these quote unquote crazy progressives that you speak of are actually representing the views of a lot of Americans.
The left-wing base of the party.
They are representing the
states like Indiana, West Virginia, or North Dakota.
But there are a lot of Democrats in those states who do not want Kavanaugh
people there. But I'm talking about voters that these senators that are running for re-election in red states, what they care about.
Well, I will concede that if you are Joe Donnelly, if you are Joe Manchin, if you are Heidi Heitkamp, and you are in cycle, this is a tough vote.
And that's all.
The Democrats have to show that we're fighting, and we are putting the pressure on these senators to at least give a very, very, very...
I think it'll be really tough, particularly in West Virginia, as you brought up, Lisa, because this is a state that President Trump has come back to several times. As far as coal country is concerned, there are a lot of voters that are way behind him.
And his popularity has declined significantly in West Virginia.
It would still be very challenging for Senator Manchin to come out and be the one that draws the wall on Kavanaugh. I don't know that politically speaking, somewhere down the road, he would need to make that fight.
The
Republicans are
not the
behind
fight he
him
wants to
too,
have.
so this is happening.
Right. The nomination hearings for Brett Kavanaugh start on Tuesday, and we will be covering that here as well. In the meantime, President Trump announcing a tentative new trade deal with Mexico to replace NAFTA. But for now, Canada is not part of it. Could our neighbor to the north spoil the deal? And can the president make good on his campaign promises to remake trade? We'll debate that up next.